So I just want to run through and showcase the 4 plugins I've done since I started vibe coding. And I like WordPress as the platform to piggyback these things. It has a user system, it has a database. It's a tried and true tested platform. It doesn't require an extra tech stack on my local computer. But anyway, let me go. Global Nurse Gateway, this is for the site itself. And I had run into some technical problems where I tried to string together a bunch of plugins. It never worked right. The site's just been sitting here doing nothing. Um, oops, oh, sorry. And the idea behind this was the nurses sign up, you have agencies, the nurses get points for and incentives for sharing this site to others. And now this needs hardened testing. And I think I've made videos and um, I can run through the um, total nurses, and this is because I have a data drop in place just for some testing. No agencies have been added yet. Um, Drop down list, and I have to really think about how the best user experience. So, like when you're vibe coding these apps, it comes back either your choices are not working, which is once in a while, and that's with human development as well. And you have to really test, each scenario. That's where the biggest thing in this is going to be. And I have tested not this one as much as, but the next three we'll get to. Settings. I have different levels assigned to the nurses as they start assigning or sharing the site to their friends. So I might get into one hospital, and by getting into that one hospital, I get 10 nurses. All with different skill sets. So okay, let's move, and I can quickly referral sign up. I can set the different points. And you're really only limited by imagination. Okay, and there's where the demo data came in. So this one right here, this is for the MD file structure, and this is really big when it comes to Claude coding. I think Cursor uses it well, and they're just a set of rules that remembers. And so I created this application called StructurePilot, which is really okay, no broken links, and really is mimicking this right here that contains all my rules. So when I run into something, and it might be something like versioning, originally Claude was giving me back sometimes inconsistent versioning, and I want it right like this. Done, what was done. So I have specific procedures and processes in place for this. But you can look, this thing is big. Structure. This is a professional app. Yes, it lives in WordPress, so it's a plugin, but it's an app. Pending. Okay, we have no pendings in there. So now I've broken down everything, into coding standards, rules, and you have to think about that because, coding standards, okay, where are these? What MD files are these located? So that's actually a change right there. Yes, they're in there somewhere, but now you don't know where they're at. I'm gonna have to run back to ChatGPT and say, hey, I like what you've done with rules, but it needs some place in there. I don't think this is set up correctly. I'll discuss it with my AI, and then I'll come back with I want these categorized a little easier so I can find them. Okay, wizard. I still need to connect Google Drive up to this, and I'm not saying, I think the hardest thing, and I've said this to some other people, is not the vibe coding itself. It's connecting the APIs, and probably even harder than that is the QA. Because as you saw before, It's like, oh, that's cool. I mean, this is nice, but it's not useful because I want to know where these 33 rules are at. I mean, this doesn't tell. I mean, um, this doesn't tell me. So, and I have to even look. I have to dive deep into this because content ACF. Okay, this is for, and just to make a uses. I have to make sure that this makes sense to the to the MD files, because I think the MD files, this data is only going to be as good as the MD files. Okay, let's keep going. The health report, and I've resolved. Originally, I had some broken links in there. I've kind of resolved those via finding them here, downloading it, and putting it back into Claude and saying, hey, go through here. Okay, activity log. That's another one. I'd like to look at that because I think any action should be in the activity log. And as you saw, I just scanned it. So coming up with, like a notebook or a virtual notebook, and then just going through, diving deep into these sites and saying, hey, is this the best user experience? Okay, settings. I can delete all data. And some of it I'm putting in here for testing purposes. On a release version, maybe I have it, maybe I don't. Okay, I like this one. I think this is pretty cool. This is probably the biggest of all the plugins I've developed, and I put some time into this. And you can go through here real quick. So it has a wizard that you can set up, set up the prompts. And it's based on, let me go back here. It's based on an intelligent chatbot. I see all these chatbots, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It would be so nice to have intelligence built in, whether it's coming back from a page. You can say, hey, I see you're on a certain page, and discussing that page based on the user action. It could be geo, it could be a holiday, hey, happy holiday. And I've put some thought into the hierarchy of this. So let's see here. We'll go through here. So the analytics, where's the conversion? And you can kind of see these people, and this is me testing, but these people have converted. And this is a low traffic site, or we'd see some. This is one of my own I launched a while back, but I haven't really put in any time into it. Prompt library. This is where a lot of stuff's happening here. It has a little prompt wizard. This is connected to OpenAI. OpenAI API. Communications. This is a cool feature. So as the chatbot's chatting, and I've already successfully got Slack and Telegram working. The WhatsApp was a user error because my WhatsApp wasn't connected to Facebook, and it really needs to be. So I'll have to either redo my WhatsApp to Facebook or create another one. I don't have enough phones, and I'm actively using my 2 WhatsApp accounts, so that is coming. Frequently asked questions. I can add frequently asked questions to this thing. A/B testing. This needs to have A/B testing on it, but what this does is I can take 2 different prompts, and let's say I have enough page volume, and I can compare 2 different prompts and then test them and see what prompt is getting more conversions. So, and settings, there's a lot going on here. I have the time zone, and some of this was the standard for time zone. It drops down into something that's really tough to find. Like I'm, digging in here, to find like an East Coast time, when this is much easier. So it was just based on, I know I don't like that as a user. Let's not do that to someone else. AI. So how much I've spent on AI tokens, that's going to be important. Chat identity. So, a gift shop, a party store would definitely have a different personality tone than a law firm. So I put that in there. And I'll just go through here. Notifications, email is working. And it's piggybacking off the natural PHP and WordPress. Send. Indexing. And this is cool because I can, let's say I have a page I don't want a prompt to run on. I can exclude categories, exclude posts, exclude pages, or exclude categories, exclude pages, and then inherently exclude posts by unchecking them. And some of this needs testing to see how it works, and hardened testing. I have tests for things not working, bugs, but now there's a second level. Hey, is this the best user experience to what this should be, which is a chat bot with intelligence built in. Geo, if it's a higher traffic site, I'd probably want to pay for the API key. White label, as they're sending emails and things like that. You can white label this thing. I can hide the Powered by ShaneWebGuy thing. Integrations, here's some of the cool integrations. And I still have to circle back here. Calendly is an integration, but it's just the link. And I kind of researched this. Go high level, I know that's popular with the agencies. Let's content indexing. So this works. I have 70 pages. Licensing, the different levels. I mean, this is really okay. And we're getting to the next plugin. I like this one. This one really gives me some insight. I'm making a run, and go back here. I'm making a run for ranking at least on page 1 on Google Ads Calculator. I'm moving up, but I want to see in the best possible detail the insights of what it takes to best practices for. So I run a new evaluation, and let's see. Let's grab a competitor. And I might think, hey, what about multiple competitors? Okay, and we'll let this run in the background. This does take, this is a heavier, probably of the plugins. This uses more tokens with the API. So if you ran a whole site, and I was thinking about doing that, running the whole site, but it could cost $100 to run the whole site in one go. So you can see it's kind of moving along here. And the idea between all this is it looks at the page, gives an SEO report, writes the frequently asked questions based on that. And I probably should put the target keyword. I didn't this time, but for the sake of testing. But gives back a nice SEO report. Looks at some of the things I need to do. And I'd question this because this is a service page. So should I put logic in there, because service pages don't have authors and bios. So I'd want to challenge my AI to, hey, I'm running this on another page. Should I even make this a required field? I might. I mean, that might be something. But I mean, this is hammering it down. QA, look at here. Improve title tags, priority fixes. And let's keep going here. History. Okay, completed the page evaluation. I can rerun it. And I might want to have a a score history, so I know, as I make my changes, am I improving? Oops. Okay, so here's the frequently asked questions, and I don't like. So this is something that uh, I think this is not the worst, but I would like this to stay on one line. So I would probably tell it, hey, if it gives me, I'd want to account for, I guess two numbers, and maybe even three. Um, to, I don't know if there's enough room in there, um, but I don't want this dropping down. I mean, this is the smallest thing ever, but I don't necessarily want this dropping down on another line. Settings. Okay, token usage, pretty important. System prompts. I have different. So, and then that's another thing. Okay, so I have my prompt settings, SEO report prompts. Uh, should I have? Not, it may be not. See, different competitor prompts. I can look at this and think, hey, should I have other prompts I save in a prompt library? Okay, well, I can add that. I mean, it's adding features. It's adding features faster than I can test them, so that's probably a good thing, or maybe it's not. Access control, and this gives access to this evaluator based on user type and WordPress. And I love piggybacking off WordPress. As I said at the start of this, gives me so much. It gives me the database. It gives me the users. I mean, it gives me 100,000 plus lines of code already there. And I think that does it. I mean, that's 4 plugins. This video took over 17 minutes, but I mean, this is wild. And yes, I have quite a bit of time in this, over every waking moment in this, but I'm able to do this, and it's just creativity and insights. Like, what does the user need? How's the user going to interact with this application, whether it's a plugin or local desktop app? Having some of those insights is going to be a big help. Okay, thank you guys.